All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're breaking down the core system from MJ DeMarco's The Millionaire Fastlane. And let's be clear, this isn't some feel-good motivational talk. We're talking about a wealth-building framework, a financial roadmap that's actually designed for speed.
So, right out of the gate, the book throws this question at you, and it's a big one. It takes that traditional advice we all hear, save 10%, trust the stock market, retire when you're 65, and it asks if that's really a safe bet or if it's a gamble with the one thing you can never, ever get back, your time.
DeMarco basically lays out two roads, and they go in completely different directions. You've got the slow lane, which is where most people are. It's this lifelong grind of trading your hours for dollars. But then there's the fast lane, and that's all about building business systems that you control, systems that make money separate from your time. It's a total mindset flip, really. You stop being just a piece in the machine and start building the machine itself.
Okay, so here's our game plan for breaking this all down. First, we're going to tear apart the whole get-rich-slow myth. Then we'll get into the core idea, the producer principle. After that, we'll unpack 3 key frameworks you can actually use. And finally, we'll see how all this stuff applies in the real world, right now.
All right, first up, to really get what the fast lane is about, we've got to rip apart the get-rich-slow idea to see why it's so broken. It's not just that it's slow. It's about the math and the lack of control.
So DeMarco calls the problem with the slow lane uncontrollable limited leverage. What does that mean? It means your income is stuck to your salary and your retirement account is basically on a roller coaster that someone else is driving. The math just doesn't work because it bets everything on time, decades of time, hoping the market goes your way.
Okay, so if the old map leads to a dead end, what's the new one look like? Well, it all comes down to a major shift in how you see yourself. This isn't just about learning a new trick, it's about playing a completely different game.
And this is the absolute heart of the fast lane. It's about switching from a consumer mindset to a producer mindset. You literally flip the script in your head. Instead of walking around thinking, what can I buy or what can I watch, you start asking, what can I build? What problem out there can I solve? This thinking is the engine that powers the whole system. And this line from DeMarco, it's basically the whole philosophy in one sentence. It just perfectly nails the idea that all the things that come with wealth are simply the result of creating massive value for other people first.
That's a nice idea, right? But how do you actually do it? How do you make that switch in your brain? Well, DeMarco gives us a pretty clear 3-step framework to get started. Step 1, you have to admit it. You have to look at the get-rich-slow plan and see it for the gamble it is. Step 2, you have to actively stop the consumer habits that keep you stuck. And finally, step 3, you swap paths. You consciously shift your focus from buying things to building things that solve problems. Okay, so you've got the producer mindset. Now what? How do you actually create significant wealth with it? Well, this next framework is where the math comes in, and it's all about impact.
This is called the law of affection, and it's brutally simple. It says that your wealth is tied directly to the impact you create. The formula is basically wealth equals scale times magnitude. Scale is how many people you reach. Magnitude is how much you impact each of those people. To get rich, you need to knock one of those or both out of the park. Think about it like this. A local bakery, the people who go there love it. That's high magnitude, but they can only serve a few hundred people. The scale is tiny. Now compare that to a software product. It can reach hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people all over the world. Its scale is massive, and that's why the potential for wealth is just on another level.
Right, so we've got the mindset and we've got the math for scale. What's the final piece of the puzzle? Well, it's about building a machine, a system that you control that does the heavy lifting for you.
This is the goal, right? The dream. DeMarco calls it a money tree. And no, this isn't about getting lucky. It's about engineering a business system. It could be software, an automated service, content, you name it, that brings in money whether you're at your desk, asleep, or on a beach somewhere.
And when you start thinking this way, your priorities completely change. You stop chasing dollars and start building things that make dollars for you. Your most valuable asset is suddenly your time. The business systems you build are the tools you use to buy back that time. And passive income, that's the ultimate result. That's the fruit from your money tree.
Okay, so that's the theory. But how do we take all this and actually apply it, today, in 2026? The ideas themselves don't change, but the tools we can use, well, they're better than ever. It really boils down to 3 simple but not easy steps.
1. Find a need. Seriously, stop chasing your passion and start solving people's problems. 2. Use technology to build a system that can scale. The tools to reach millions have never been cheaper or easier to use. And number 3, and this is maybe the most important, you have to execute relentlessly. Ideas are cheap, action is everything.
And that really brings us to the core truth of this whole thing. The fast lane is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a get-rich-quick system. It's not a lottery ticket. It's about building a machine, and that takes intense work. Wealth is a process.
So I want to leave you with one final thought, a question to really chew on. If wealth is the outcome of a system built on your behavior, what system are your actions building, day in and day out? Are you building a system of consumption or a system of production? Because your answer to that question tells you exactly which road you're on right now.